I got hit by a car.
Like, people are in the Reddit group.
So we'll look into the national debt. Can I rip that again, Danny?
I feel like you're doing a good job.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop
fine.
interrupting. And call me crazy.
All right, welcome back to Biking into Cars. Happy to be here with you, Bella.
Happy to be here with you.
I love that. Thank you so much. So today we're going to be talking about concussions.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the science behind concussions, how they happen, their impact, how studied they are, kind of some stigma around concussions. And we'll be hearing from someone who has had a few, my dear pending sister-in-law, Bella. So right off the bat, I actually do have a primer for you.
Oh, okay, great.
How many concussions have you had?
I think 10. We're gonna go
10.
through them. I believe 10. I haven't gone through them in a while.
Okay,
So
well, today we'll be getting into her concussions, how they happened. And yeah, but before we do that, I do kind of want to dive into the science behind concussions, like the medical science. I think essentially we'll start with what happens to your brain when you experience a concussion.
Oh, okay, great.
That feels
I
important.
can't wait.
Okay, is this true?
No, it'll be great to learn.
Okay, so
It's all very abstract for me.
Right. So this is going to be some real info.
Yeah.
So what actually happens when you get a concussion, when you get a
Wait, can I tell you what I think happens?
Yeah.
I think your head or your brain goes against your skull, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes. So it's the direct brute impact to the head then causes a either rapid back and forth or banging against the side of the skull. So it depends how you fall.
That's capable of just one bang.
Right, but it could like hop around a few times, bounce around the walls of the skull.
It seems like a design flaw.
Right. And so when that happens, it triggers a chain of
Although
changes.
the way our head is it a design flaw?
I mean, it's so heavy. Think
Right.
about it. No.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to stop
fine.
interrupting.
Humans are maybe not. Our design is a little
It seems like,
flawed.
but a big part of that has to do with like the spine in our brain.
Right. We'll talk about spine in another episode.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. So when this sudden movement occurs in the brain, there is a chain of harmful changes within the brain that can interfere with normal brain activities. So it's the general gist. Your brain gets knocked around the skull. It's not supposed to happen.
Okay.
So yeah, the brain moves. There's stretching and shearing of axons.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I believe that is like brain matter.
Okay, that feels right.
Yeah. And then it's kind of, for example, when you get cut, right, it gets inflamed, but then all of your, healing cells go there and they heal it because it's inflamed.
Yeah.
What happens in the brain is there is neuroinflammation. So inflammation of the brain.
Okay.
Which is bad because it means the brain is, it's inflamed. So
inflammation of the brain means that the brain's inflamed.
Right, which is bad. Inflammation is bad, typically.
Okay, I know, but you started with it's like a cut.
Right, but when it's the brain, it's a little
Okay, fine.
different.
I understand. I'm just saying it was a bit misleading.
So when a person has sustained multiple concussions, especially if they're within a close period of time, then there's just so much buildup of inflammation that the brain just never gets to fully heal.
Okay.
Because it just it can't keep up with the healing process.
Okay.
So that's why I think CTE exists.
Right, and I'm not even...
Right, you're not football, rugby.
No, yeah, I definitely played 0 minutes of football in my life.
No, but you did play soccer for a bit and hockey for a tad.
And field hockey.
There we go. So she can do that.
Right, but I have not played tackle football.
Right. That's true. But
so it could be way worse.
Right, but what's interesting is concussions, as I learned, are not always a crazy knockout. It can be kind of like accumulation of multiple knocks to the head that can then cause that much brain damage.
Right.
So the best way to heal a concussion is obviously, well, I guess, what do you think it is? Like, what were you told growing up?
Well, you're supposed to rest and also not use screens and stuff.
Screens are
really bad.
Right. I was reading about how you're really supposed to take a break.
Which I usually did, but I would read on my phone.
Right. You are a big phone reader.
And that was usually the real hard thing for me to break.
I might look at you on your phone. Well, not with the privacy screen, but like when I can see it, it's either the game or you're reading. It's really all you're doing, which I love. Use your phone for good purposes, but yes.
I actually started a new game too.
Okay, yeah. So essentially when you experience, so this is multiple concussions now. So multiple concussions, this protein in the brain gets built up. The protein is tau. And that protein, I think when there's excess of it, can damage and kill brain cells. So it's a bad protein. And because the nerve fibers of the brain get rocked back and forth and up and down and all of that, and they get damaged, they're very delicate. So if they snap, which can happen, I think, it doesn't seem like yours have because you don't have, I think, CTE.
No, I don't think I do.
Right.
No, I don't. I
Right, you
saw
don't. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
but since the last concussion I had, I saw a doctor, they gave me a brain scan.
And you don't right.
No, she, like, showed me a chart, she was like, "NFL players and CTE are here," and that was a red zone, and I was in the orange zone.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, not great, but good that you don't have
She was
CTE.
like, you cannot get another concussion." I was like,
Well,
"For sure." I
yeah,
mean,
that seems like a good rule of thumb for many
no,
people.
yeah.
Right. So when those injuries occur, then the nerve fibers that snap cannot regrow, which then causes the brain to not be able to heal. You don't have that,
Okay.
but other people do. And these are the compounded injuries, which is
Do you know what CTE stands for?
yeah, chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is what you're describing encephalopathy?
No.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
So the reason, so okay, so when it comes to like compounded injuries, that's actually what causes CTE. CTE isn't you get one concussion or even 10 concussions, to my understanding. It's from these very many small hits to the
And it
brain.
keeps happening if you
Right.
don't
And
let
so
it
then,
heal,
right,
and then it keeps
exactly.
happening.
Because they keep going out there and getting knocked around on the field and by the sticks and whatever.
Okay.
It's very dangerous. And that's why it's mainly athletes that have it, because not that many other people are putting themselves in those positions. Right. So essentially, like a lay person, you would think about it. So we're lay people in this. It's like wear and tear on the brain. So if it happens thousands of times over a course of someone's sports career, which remember, sport careers typically are not your entire lifetime. They're maybe, well, like 10 to 15 years is like an athlete's amount of time.
Yeah, no, I didn't make it further than high
Right.
school.
Right. Like these are guys and girls that are getting, bopped all around multiple times. So it's very dangerous. And there really is no magic number. It's not 10, it's not 12, it's not 8.
Yeah, it's about, like, the damage it's done to your
The main takeaway from what I was reading was that the brain never forgets a hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, that was true because well, obviously, it's true because you learned it.
Right. But,
But also, when I went to the doctor that, like, did a scan of my brain, she said that there was an area she could, like, see the area where my biggest hits were.
okay. Okay. So speaking of your biggest hits.
Okay, so my first one, was I think before I was walking,
Oh, wow.
and I was in the front, but this one's, I guess, a little disputed, and I don't have any memory of it. But my brother was driving like a toy bulldozer, and I was in the front, and he was, and we had this gravel driveway,
Okay.
and he was doing a fine job
Right. Driving.
and keeping me in the front shovel until he wasn't, and he dropped me, and I hit my head, and I do have a dent in my head from it. You can feel it. It's right there. Yeah,
Oh, my God.
yeah. So that was the first one.
Okay.
And then I believe the second one, I think I was like 5.
Okay.
So it was a few years. I was like on my dad's shoulder in my parents' bedroom just playing, hanging out. And there was a ceiling fan. And the ceiling fan, like, my head got in there and it knocked me in the neck.
Oh, no.
And that one knocked me out. I remember waking up distinctly with, like, my mom has these great cloth tie-dye napkins.
Yeah.
And, like, there was, like, ice on my head and a tie-dye napkin kinda, like, over my eyes. And, yeah, that one I can still kind of feel. Some of them I can still feel,
Okay.
like, when I talk about it. The third one, I was in 1st grade. So this one was, like, it was within a year
Oh,
of
my
the last
God.
one.
Okay.
And we didn't know that they were concussions at that point. So, like, when you get knocked out, it's a concussion.
Right.
Um,
Okay, that's important actually to note,
yeah,
I think.
or what, like, my doctor's always the metric was, like, well, we could see for other issues if it was a concussion, but if
Right, because there are like
I
symptoms of it.
yeah, but if I had thrown up right after it,
Yeah.
or if I was knocked out, that's automatically yeah.
That's what I learned.
So, so that one I was knocked out. So then the next year when I was in 1st grade, it happened while we were playing Cherry
I don't know
Bomb.
what cherry bomb is.
It's like a game where you, like, someone's on the, like, chips and everyone else is on the jungle gym, and the person on the wood chips can
Okay.
keep their eyes open on the wood chips, and they can go on the jungle gym, but they have to close their eyes, and they're supposed to tag people.
That feels
So
unsafe.
it's like normal tag on the wood chips,
But you're without vision.
on the
Jungle
jungle
gym.
gym. You're the tagger. And so I was a tagger and I fell off.
Mhm.
And I hit my head and I actually fractured a vertebrae too.
Okay.
and that knocked me out.
Right. As it would.
So that was my 3rd, and then my 4th was not so long later, doing gymnastics. I had another, like, minor fracture
Do you
and
know which vertebrae it is? Oh my
L6.
god.
Yes, I know. And then I had a minor and I hit my head again.
Right.
And that, like, was not that long, and then my mom, I was like, "Okay, no more gymnastics."
That's a good call.
Yeah, because 'cause I'm very accident prone.
So
Um,
we're learning
and
here.
then um so it's 4.
Yeah.
My 5th
I, like,
one.
don't want there to be any more.
No, I know. I don't know if I'm gonna make sense.
Okay, that would be really
I know, great.
nice.
My 5th one, um, my cousin's cousin
Okay.
and I were, like, roughhousing in the basement. He's older than Danny. So I'm like, I don't yeah, roughhousing with me. That's
Okay. And
3 at least 3
you
years
were
older.
probably a pretty small
Yes, I
little
was.
girl.
I didn't hit 5 feet until,
Right.
like, freshman year.
Until last year.
Yeah, I barely, and then once I hit 5 feet, I
It
basically
slowed to a
stopped.
crawl.
Yeah, right. So I was small, and
Oh my god.
yeah, and so we were roughhousing, and he just, like, slammed my head on the ground, and I actually bit off a large chunk of the inside of my cheek. That's the one
Oh
that is
my
on
god.
the scan. I'm convinced it is, because it was, like, right on the side of my brain where he smashed it down, and Danny got really upset because he was in the basement, like, watching it all happen, and he had to carry me upstairs because I was really woozy, and I bled all over his shirt. Yes, there was,
Oh
like,
my
blood all
god.
over his shirt. And the guy's dad is a doctor, and he was like, "You're fine," basically, and we were very dismissed,
Okay, well, maybe
and
we should have him on the podcast.
no, I know, vengeful, and, like, it was on Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was so bad.
Oh, we're coming up on the Annie.
So that was so bad, and I, like, remember and I missed days of school after that because I was, like, woozy.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and also my cheek was
Right, I can't even imagine.
swollen.
I've, like, lightly scraped my cheek, and I'm like, "Ow."
I still have a little bit of a, like, what I actually recently the dentist was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "I haven't had that."
Oh, I have a bump on my lip from my
Yeah,
fainting.
there we
Look at
go.
us go.
So, yeah, it was a solid chunk. I was just bleeding, and it was swollen for days, and I remember being really wheezy for that one. That one hurt.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Um, and then I think I kinda took a hiatus.
From getting concussed.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. It's good to give yourself a break.
Um, and then so what
Okay.
happened was someone with best field hockey hit on the team. Field hockey balls are, like, really dense, and they're hard. They're
Okay.
hard like a golf ball, but it's dense. It's
Ooh.
dense. It's, like, not something you wanna be hit with.
Like a football?
No, like a golf
Oh,
ball.
like hard.
Yeah, like
What are
it's
they made out of?
plastic. It's a hard, but it's
Oh,
dense.
okay,
It's
okay, right,
dense
it's
too.
packed.
It's heavy.
It's not
It's
hollow.
heavy.
Okay,
Like, it was hard to hit. It's
okay,
a whole thing. It's not a ball that's easy to move.
got it.
And it's not shot put, but
Right, yeah, yeah, well,
somewhere in
that
between
would
a
be.
golf ball and a shot put. So this girl hit it with her wooden field hockey stick, and they were shooting on the goal. And for some reason, I was, like, sitting facing away from the goal, and it just whacked me in the back of my head. She
Oh
took
my
the biggest,
god.
as hard of a hit as she could. It hurts. That's
And
another one I can
it
still
sounds
feel
like
it.
you hadn't really had the back of the head one yet.
No, and that one really, yeah, almost in the base of my
Oh,
skull.
your occipital bone, that's a bad
Yeah, like
one.
right here.
You think that's why you get the neck pain?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the
Um,
body remembers.
and she was not sorry at all. The coach did not care. I was not the starting goalie, so they were like, "Fuck you."
That's crazy.
Um, but yeah, so that really hurt. And then I think this was my junior year. I think I got 4, but yeah.
Ooh, so
So
you had
I
compounded.
think so. So that happened. So what is that? 6?
Yeah.
So then,
'Cause that was 2 your junior year.
I got another one, but I don't remember.
Okay, well, that's memory loss.
Yeah, I don't remember. But and then I do remember. So that happened in October.
Okay.
And then in February, I know. This was a really bad one. My mom, this made my mom cry because it was so stupid. I went skiing with my friends, with some very capable athletic friends of mine,
Okay.
and I had never been
Oh
skiing,
my god.
and they were skiers, and 2 of my friends went on the bunny hill, and they did that's what I should have done, but
You didn't?
no. I went on, like, this blue diamond one, but it's in Wisconsin.
Bella,
No,
it
I
doesn't
know.
matter.
I know, without a helmet. Yeah, I know, I know. Went horribly, and
Yes.
I fell, and the skis smashed into my head. Yeah, it
No.
was so bad, and then the guy had to, like, rescue me.
No. Did you, like, knocked out?
Yeah, a little
Okay,
bit. I was
okay.
jostled around.
Right, your head definitely hit a
So
few
then that was,
things.
like, the first run, too.
Oh my
So then
god.
I sat in the ski lodge for the rest of the
Good.
day,
As you
reading
should.
a book on my phone.
As she does,
Yeah.
looking at screens.
And then
So that's 7. Have you had one since then?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
and then this young girl smashed my head into a window.
That's all we're gonna get.
She was very hyper. I don't wanna
Okay.
make her feel bad. She
Okay.
wasn't that young. You know, she was in high school. It wasn't like I was
Okay,
hanging out with a
yeah.
child.
Okay,
And I
so
think I said something like, "Oh, like, hit me in the head if that's true," or something, like, as a joke.
and
And then she
she
hit me
did
in the
it.
head,
Okay.
and it jostled my head, and my head hit a window.
Okay.
And then I'm missing some.
Did you have any in college?
Yeah, I had one in college. So wait, that's 8?
Yeah.
I had one in college. I had the lofted bed,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was looking underneath the bed for stuff, and I at one point just
Yeah.
stood straight up, and that one knocked me out too. And thank God, Lisa, my best friend from college, because she came over so much, and I just was not very responsive to
Right.
text or whatever. I just was like, "Look, it's not personal. I'm gonna make you a copy of my key. You can get in and, like, just come hang out, and it's not really my problem."
Yeah.
You know, to coordinate things.
That's how you
I
are.
was like, "I always like to be hanging out with you, so free reign, come over."
Right.
And we had plans or something, but I got really disoriented. So
my God.
she ended up using her key to get in, and she was
Oh my
like, "Bella,
God.
what's going on?" And then
It is interesting.
that's 9, but I swear there was another one.
I have found that I've definitely bumped my head more than a few times in my life, but never to the point of knockout. I'm curious if the more you get,
Yes,
the more
definitely.
sensitive you become.
Well, no, it's not it's
That's the
100%. You're
thing.
more
Okay.
susceptible to
Okay.
it.
So then
Yeah.
these like little taps
Yeah.
are not taps to you.
No.
It's like a giant to your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's all I remember.
I feel good calling it 9
Yeah.
because double digits feels like a lot.
No, for sure. I'm trying to think though, like, but it'll come to you.
Yeah, if it comes to you, let us know. If not, we could just chalk that up to the concussion.
And so the symptoms that I had.
Yeah, thank you.
So not until the ones I got in high school, kind of like back to back to back. The first one in high school was kind of bad because it really hit. I was getting some fuzziness and memory loss. But then after the second one, my junior year in high school, I got a lot of memory loss. I remember being in Florida with my grandparents.
Were you at Disney?
No, we were in New Smyrna.
Oh, okay.
And I just kept losing my train of thought, and they were like, really concerned for
Yeah,
me because
right.
it was just upsetting to everyone. And then that was distracting to me because I was like, I would lose my train of thought, and then everyone would get upset, and then I'd be like, "Well, this is not helping me find my train of thought."
I feel like I don't know. I feel like when we chat, you are able.
No, I'm way better.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Your brain has been able to heal itself.
No, for sure. So that was like so bad, and I would just lose it, and I do remember we did poetry out loud. Did you guys do poetry out loud?
Is that where you say something and the next person says something and you look? Okay.
So it's like a national competition.
No, we didn't.
And
I didn't
start like a spelling bee in elementary school. It would start in your class, and we were to memorize a poem. And you would do this in your English class. You memorized a poem, and then you had to perform the poem, and then the best people from that would go at the school one and the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a boy in the class that had a lot of animosity because I had just broken up with him over text, and I had just had my second concussion. And it was my turn for poetry out loud.
Okay.
And I remember, like, everyone knew how concussed I was because, like,
right. Well, they were happening. You were out of school.
Well, and I would trail off in the middle of because I was a participant in class.
No, of course you were. You have a voice.
You had to participate.
And you say really interesting things, hence why we have a podcast.
So I would have something to say, and then I'd trail off, and it would just be, like, known that if I came back to it, I could interrupt after the next person finished speaking and be like, "I remember." It
Yeah.
was really people were really my teachers were really nice about it. People were really nice about it.
That's nice.
I had these concussion glasses because so at a certain point I was seeing doubles. And so, like, I couldn't track things well, and it was giving me a headache, and so in one of my classes, it looked like I was zoning out because I kept losing focus in my eyes, and so my teacher this was A-push, which all the teachers take very seriously,
I
and the
really liked
kids
A-push.
I mean, so did I, but I didn't like this
Right.
I really liked the teacher too, and he felt really bad afterward, but he's yelled at me a few times in class and was like, "Stop staring at the window. What are you looking at out the window? Why aren't you in class?" And I, like, instead of speaking up for myself, I just held back tears. And then I sent him a long email and he felt really bad.
Yeah.
It was kind of a sassy email too, but
That's funny because I also wouldn't tell my teachers in person. I would wait to email them and be
yeah,
like, "Look,
so
I want to explain like why this happened."
right. So I emailed him and I was like, "Look, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I am having trouble keeping focus. And my eyes are having trouble keeping
Right.
focus. I'm paying attention."
Right. It's just the eyes.
Yeah. And then like the next day, he said he apologized to me in front of the class, which was
Oh,
really
that's
nice.
nice. Wow, I like that. Shout out to that teacher.
So that was really nice. And then for Poetry Out Loud with this boy who he wouldn't even look at me, and like I sat near the door and like, he would like take these weird routes around the classroom to like avoid walking past me. It was just like really weird.
Okay, drama
At one
king.
point, like the teacher held me back and was like, "Is everything okay?" Like and it was so embarrassing. I was like, "Yes, please."
No,
just
embarrassing for him, not for
no, I know. I was like,
you.
"Please pretend like you just don't even know what's happening." But so for Poetry Out Loud, I trailed off in the middle of my poem because I was just the boy was turned away from. He's the nicest kid in the whole world, really nice. Like
Okay,
I think it's
fine.
like a whole
Okay,
long story.
sure.
No shade to him at all, but it did not help me because I was having trouble with recall anyways, and
Yeah.
I had to memorize this poem. And he wasn't looking at me, and so I was completely distracted, and I just trailed off in the middle, and I was almost and Mr. Forrester was just like, "It's okay. You don't have to finish." The fact that like you put
Yeah.
in the effort is so and everyone was really nice about it.
Okay.
So those were some symptoms.
Okay.
And then also see, I think oh, okay, so then the one where my head hit the window was senior year.
Okay.
And I think there was another one though. There was another one because then I missed 3 months of school. But like from February, January, like February, March, April, I missed. I wasn't there. Like the state got involved. Like
Oh.
not the high because my
Yeah.
mom called me in every day, but the high school eventually was like,
Are things okay?
no, they were like the state's gonna look into this. She's graduating this year. We need to put some of this stuff on.
Record.
Yeah, she had to have a meeting with all my teachers, and they took me one of my teachers brought me flowers. It was so sweet. Mr.
Wow.
Levin, my favorite person in the whole world.
My teachers were not super nice to me after my back
Mr.
surgery.
Bergerway was so nice about it. Shout out Mr. Bergerway. Shout out Mr. Levin. Shout out Mr. Forrester. Shout out Mr. Huff. You all were so good about it.
You had some really supportive teachers.
No, they were
I'm
all,
feeling
like-
some waves of jealousy.
No, it was really so sweet because I loved to learn, and like I feel like they saw that, but also like memory was not great. It was
No,
like
that's
I was learning to
crazy.
learn, but I wasn't retaining the information.
Right. I still hold resentment to my English teacher in 11th grade who, when I missed school because I was having spinal surgery, decided to give me incompletes on all my assignments.
Oh my God, no, I totally
Yeah.
phoned in so much stuff, and they were so
Mm-mm.
nice about it.
She was like, "Sorry,
And I
you weren't
missed
here."
so much
She
school.
called me while I was in the hospital on my morphine drip, and she just wanted to see when you're going to be back in class. And I was like, "Ma'am, I am on drugs right now. I'm on medication. This is an inappropriate phone call." It was wild.
Yeah, right. That was not my experience.
No, that is blessed beyond words. I'll never
Yeah.
forget her.
So yeah, just memory loss is. So right. So the reason I missed so much school is because I was then throwing up every day.
Yes. This is
And then that
Right.
stopped.
right.
But then I got, even though the concussions stopped, I started getting really bad abdominal migraines,
Mhm.
and those were very hard to diagnose. So are you going to tell me
Yes.
some stuff?
I am
about
going
that?
to
'Cause I
tell you
think
something
we're
about that.
done
Yeah.
with the concussion.
Yeah.
I can't think of any more.
So the abdominal migraines are interesting. I learned about them because you get them.
Yeah.
And you would get them on vacation sometimes,
Well,
like
'cause
traveling throws
flights
you
are
off.
big
Yeah.
abdominal migraine.
Right, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Um And what's interesting is, I don't know if any of our listeners are familiar with the gut-brain axis.
Yeah, I mean,
You're familiar with it, I
for
assume.
sure.
Right, because of your brother.
Well, and also the gut and brain connection in
For
my
migraines.
yeah.
Right. So concussions can cause gastrointestinal issues by triggering inflammation that then affects the gut-brain axis. The gut-brain axis is one of my favorite things because happy gut, happy brain, happy brain, happy gut. So there's a two-way communication network, kind of a highway, that runs between your brain and your digestive system. And it connects your central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord. And obviously your brain is getting moved around a lot. So it's being impacted. And so between the central nervous system and then the enteric nervous system, which is the network of nerves in your gut. So when the brain and the spinal cord are having problems on the highway, it then creates a buildup and there's a block between there being a cohesive system. So that's kind of what happens. So there's the vagus nerve, which is the physical pathway, which sends signals.
Yes.
VAGUS, vagus nerve.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was spelled like Vegas, like Las Vegas.
No, vagus.
No, that's fine. I just thought it would be fun if it was Vegas.
Right. So the vagus nerve is like a physical pathway that sends signals up and down to the brain and the gut.
Okay.
Then you have your neurotransmitters and your hormones. These are going to be like your serotonins, your dopamines. And that's why, like, if you have like irritable bowel diseases, for example, it can then cause depression because there's lower amounts of serotonin. Yes, correct. And then in your case, it was the brain going to the gut. Right. And your brain was feeling inflammation and everything. So then your stomach got all types of wonky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because, like, when you have a headache, a lot of people experience nausea.
Right. It's right. When I get migraines, I could throw up out of the car.
Right.
So yeah, I think the gut-brain axis is really interesting. And I know there are a lot of ways people like to treat the gut-brain axis. I think in your case.
Well, and I also think, because I was in a Spanish hospital one time in Spain.
Yes. I was hoping you would bring that up.
And for an abdominal migraine.
Right.
And after a bunch of flights. And I know that one of the big, like, issues was conveying to them that it was migraines. But it was
like a symptom.
But the issue was I hadn't eaten, like, I couldn't keep down food and I hadn't eaten in a few days because I couldn't eat.
Right.
And that was the issue.
Because your body was adapting.
But it was because of my concussion,
of your
like
headaches.
migraines and all of that, and post-concussive syndrome.
Yes.
And so that's why what I was trying to explain.
Right.
Finally, I think what ended up happening is my doctor from here, and the doctor was like so resistant to it, but my doctor from here explained things to the doctor there.
Okay.
And, like, they gave me the treatment that I would get here.
Okay, right.
Because I was kind of lost in translation.
And the gut-brain axis, to be fair, it's definitely a well-known and well-researched thing, but I think unless it directly impacts you, you're probably not acutely aware of it.
Yeah, right.
And I would love for more people to be aware of it.
Although it does feel like in modern times, like, people are so into
wellness.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in our sphere, yeah, but I think there are people that also just don't really care about it.
Right.
But I would encourage people to really understand it because it's kind of what you eat also shows up in the way you feel. But that's a soapbox I'll get on another time. But yeah, so that's kind of Bella's history with concussions and migraines and abdominal migraines and just kind of the science of concussions in general. My last question for you.
Football players and murdering?
No, that felt a little.
I mean, it's prevalent. We don't talk about it enough.
I know. Okay, let's open it up.
I don't know
Let's talk
really
about
a lot
it.
about it because it's so sad.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying.
No, I know, but it's crazy that, like, there's this thing that's happening and we all are like, yes, we love it. And look, I
okay, yeah, fine.
And I think whatever came skibidado is a blast and a half. And
Skibidoo.
Like, skibidoo, scabido.
Okay, hold on.
I love it. That's my brethren in concussions. But I do think we should talk about it.
Okay. CTE, as we've earlier learned, is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. There have been several cases of CTE in which individuals have committed.
They only know posthumously.
Right. Yes.
You can only know from
an autopsy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about several notable cases of individuals diagnosed with CTE who have committed murder or other violent acts.
Okay.
So this is a serious portion of the podcast. The whole thing's been
I
pretty
mean,
serious.
it's serious, but also it's laughable that this is a problem that we are not solving.
No, I agree. We're
So I'm gonna laugh
in some
at
ways
that.
like
I'm not laughing
encouraging.
at the individual parts, but
Yeah,
like, and also the fact that like they came up with a better helmet, but like people
I
don't wear it
know.
because they don't like the look.
I
Like
know.
it's laughable that
Yeah,
that's
I
humanity.
agree.
But
Okay.
I'm not laughing at the bit.
No. So one of the first notable cases is Philip Adams. He's a former NFL player who killed 6 people in 2021, and his autopsy showed that he had CTE.
Okay.
So it was shocking to a lot of people. He went to the home of Dr. Robert Leslie and shot him, his wife, and 2 of their grandchildren, aged 9 and 5. He also shot and killed 2 air conditioning technicians who were working at the property. Adams, 32, later killed himself during a standoff with police at his parents' home nearby. Both families said the knowledge that Adams had CTE before he carried out the shootings brought them some solace.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So,
Do they have a correlation or they don't know?
like, between it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it seems, oh wow, stage 4 CTE usually involves some forms of dementia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So the other player, Aaron Hernandez, you're familiar with him?
right.
Yeah. Yeah. He was the former NFL player who was convicted of murder in 2015. He was diagnosed with CTE after death by suicide in 2017.
Oh, so only 2?
No, there's a third. And then the third notable case is Chris Benoit.
That feels right.
Yeah, a former professional wrestler. Wrestling does make sense.
Yeah.
Who murdered his wife and son before committing suicide in 2007.
Right.
So research on CTE and violence is currently ongoing, but there is some evidence to suggest that CTE may increase the risk of aggressive behavior. That feels like an appropriate conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, a study found that former NFL players with CTE were more likely to be arrested for violent crimes than those without CTE. However, it is important to note that CTE is not a definitive cause of violent behavior. Many people with CTE do not commit crimes, and there are other factors that could contribute to violence, such as mental health and substance abuse. Okay, I kind of have a thought on that. I don't know how rooted in science it is. I'm just going to preface that. It is interesting that it's pro players of kind of aggressive sports. Like, I almost wonder if that's like innate in them after playing it for as long as they did.
You're wondering, like, if I got CTE, would I get aggressive?
No, I don't think you would, because
don't think I
you
would
have
either.
never engaged in any aggression.
Well, I think that's for sure how we would know.
Yes, definitely. But I don't know. That's like,
No, I know what you're saying.
like, is that just
Like,
how
maybe
it
they
comes
were,
out
like,
in them?
and maybe it just like makes you unable to control your urges.
Right. And their urges, because this is how they spent, 10 to 15 years of their life.
Right.
And
What it may come out in me by like never taking anything seriously
just
or
laughing
going to
constantly
things.
and becoming a recluse.
Yeah.
So that is actually an interesting thing to note. Yeah, but it is really sad. And it is also interesting that the 3 of them died by suicide.
Yeah.
Like, they had like a moment of clarity and they were like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I did that. Because it's not maybe what they would have chosen to do, hopefully.
I love that theory.
Yeah, I don't know.
Based on nothing.
Nothing,
But we love it.
but just my opinions.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, so I guess the final kind of tidbit question for you is, what do you wish people knew about concussions and migraines and abdominal migraines and just like in general?
Well, I mean, I wish doctors in Spain knew because it'd be helpful for me when I was there. But if I had to think about what I wish people knew, it wouldn't be about concussions.
Okay, that's fair.
You know,
That's fair.
I wish people knew. I wish people knew how bad they were and how frequently people in the
Yeah.
NFL. I wish people were conscious
Yes.
of. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I have an answer.
Thank you.
I wish people were more cognizant and just fronted the fact that we as a national sport are doing this to young men, and it's okay. And I'm not even saying that we shouldn't, because
You watch football.
yeah, I think it's fun.
Right.
It's no hate to anyone. It's just I just feel like the people that are sitting on their couches making fantasy football teams
Should know.
yeah, because it's part of it that these people are really, really, really damaging their brains, and
Right. We can't turn a blind eye.
No, and so it's just part of it.
Yeah.
Like, part of me loving my dog is knowing that we took wolves and we turned them into what
We domesticated,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, and that's kind of a sad process when you think about it. I'm not saying get rid of dogs, I love my dog, we should all have
Right.
more dogs, but I'm just
But we should
it
remember
is a
that the
problem
yeah.
that we created,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's just all I'm saying.
Take some accountability.
Yeah, I love dogs and America loves football, and I'm not trying to take either of those things away.
Okay. Fair. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys next week.
Bike into cars.